Today, do an interview with the lady that you normally hear on Monday Prayer Line.
Yes.
And so introduce yourself and tell us what church you're with.
Okay, my name is Valerie McCrae, and I am one of the associate pastors at Living Faith World Ministries under the leadership of our senior pastors, Pastor Tony Barhu and Pastor Charlene Barhu.
And how long have you been
Yes.
part of that church?
3 years.
Okay, I couldn't remember how long it's been.
Yes.
It's gone quick, hasn't it?
Yes, it seems like I was just there forever because it seems like I've been knowing them all my life. That's
Well,
just
because they're those kind of people. You feel like family when you're there,
You're
and the
knitted
church is
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
open armed when you go visit there, and
Yes.
just busy.
Yes.
It
is.
And to have a school, and I don't know. Do you have football this year? Because I know you did.
No,
Okay.
no.
Because that was a little bit. I was like, how do they get that in the middle of the school, in the middle of the church, and you were building a church and all that stuff. So
Yes.
you have an event coming up. Do you want to talk about what's coming up in October? Because it seems like, well, we just started September, but it will be here before we know.
Before we know it.
And we need a head count so we know what to have available and ready, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yes.
tell us a little bit about this event that's happening on Saturday, October 4th.
Okay. Saturday, October the 4th, as you know, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We call it Pinktober or Pink October.
I just like to wear pink every day.
Pink is my favorite color
Mine
by
too.
far. But so in October the 4th at 10 a.m., we are having a breast cancer awareness brunch.
Okay.
And it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that we're asking for, we don't really want to charge, but we're asking for $20 donations.
Okay.
And that's to help bring awareness. So we ask for that, and you can contact the church if you want to come. We invite the community to come out because awareness is so important. It saves lives.
It does.
Yes, and we have a guest speaker, a wonderful guest speaker who is a breast cancer survivor
Yes,
herself.
she is. I know her.
And her name is Alini Berman. She is going to be our keynote speaker from Charlene's Dream, and she's on the board of directors there. And she has a wealth of knowledge to share.
The things they do out
The
of that
resources,
building. Oh, my goodness.
the wisdom, the information. So
Have you ever been there yet?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, the wigs and the cute little area and the
Yes.
crafts they do and
Yes.
the good food they're always serving. And they just do a lot of fun
They
stuff
do a
there.
lot of fun stuff. They do a lot of stuff to give back to the community because that's the whole purpose of Charlene's Dream.
Right.
And I take advantage of those resources because I myself am also a breast cancer survivor.
I didn't know if you were going to say that or
And
not.
I am. So I actually go there, So like for my lymphedema in my arm, I go there, I get my, Ileani fits me for my sleeves. And I use their resources.
That's
and
really
I go
neat. I didn't realize that you
Yes.
wouldn't use their resources. I mean,
yeah.
really neat.
Yes.
And anybody can go, right?
Anybody. Yes. And she'll take care of all cancers. She will accommodate, she will direct you, she'll do whatever she can for you. She accepts you with open arms.
And I felt like that when I went there also. I felt
She
like,
is
I have never had cancer, but we've had
Praise God,
plenty
praise God.
yes, plenty of cancer survivors and plenty that have gone home to be with the Lord. And
Yeah.
there wasn't a place like that. Well, at least we didn't know about it when my mom was alive and when my best friend was alive. We didn't even know about that place. I would have
Yeah.
loved for my friend to go there and just have people that are going through it and struggling because even though I tried to support her, I didn't know. You know what I'm
Yes.
doing? And
Yes.
so it's very nice to go there and have ladies, and they're knowledgeable, and they have
Yes.
doctors and RNs and stuff that come in and speak and different things. So
Yes,
it's
they do. Yeah.
a great place. Now, when you say the sleeves, is it like a sleeve that they put on you?
It's like a big slap. It's just that. It's a sleeve. It's an elastic, like a compression stocking you would wear on your leg. It's a compression stocking, which is a sleeve that you just slip on your arm, and it's just like a compression stocking, or we call them Job stockings back in the day, and it compresses your arm, and it just keeps the fluid from building up and keeps your arm from swelling.
Because that happens, doesn't it? And so that's really neat. Now, do you get to leave with the sleeve, or you go there and have it done while you're sitting there? How does it work?
No, I take it home and then I wear it. Like
Okay.
I wear it on a daily basis. I'll put it on.
okay.
I don't have it on right now, but rush it out. But
Now, how did you find out about them and that they do resources like that?
Charlene's Dream. I found out about them through the liaison nurse at
Okay.
Advent Health.
Isn't that nice? that
They're
they do that?
wonderful too. And they'll give you cards. They give you, when you get breast cancer, you never know. Like I'm a registered nurse.
Okay.
But taking care of patients, surgical patients, working with oncology patients. But when you get diagnosed, you have no idea.
Well, I had got a bad
And-
diagnosis once.
Yes.
And actually, I went because of somebody that was on prayer line. I wasn't real good about going and getting exams because I thought, I don't feel anything. I don't have anything. So I wasn't really good about it.
Yeah.
And Miss Brenda would say, would you go for me? And I thought, so I was going to surprise her and go and come back and say, yay. Well, I got a bad report. Now, everything is fine. It ended up being a false negative or whatever that's called.
Good.
But
Wonderful.
But during those few days of having to have the biopsy and all that stuff, it was a little overwhelming. Now, thank God
Yeah.
I have a daughter that understood all the, she's in the medical field, so she understood all the big words they were telling me and stuff. But I thought, wow, if I only just had to do that part, I can't imagine what Miss Brenda went through, what you go through, my friend went through. It's a lot.
Yeah, when I showed up, they said, well, we want you to go for this appointment because you need a nurse navigator. And I was like, a navigator? This sounds like a nurse with a GPS system or something. I'm like, well, I'm pretty good at keeping my appointments, but I'll go. Well, when I got there, they gave me a notebook. And they said, you're going to need this notebook. And lo and behold, after I left there, I was so overwhelmed. And that was one of the cards that they had in there was Charlene's dream, not knowing how much I needed them. But they gave me this notebook, and they're like, you're going to have an appointment with your oncologist. You're going to have an appointment with your regular medical physician. You need appointments with the radiology oncologist. You need an appointment with the genetic counselor. And you need an appointment with your nurse navigator. And then I was like, oh, my God, I need this notebook.
Right.
Thank you.
But see, because
But it
they've
was-
had the journey before, so they can keep adding and keep helping. So
Yes.
it's wonderful that she's
Yeah.
coming out to your event and
Yes.
going to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it just a speaking thing, or is there going to be information there, or what's all happening at this brunch?
Yes, we're going to have, information. We'll have a couple of tables set up with valuable information on it. Like I said, Ileani is going to, she's going to speak and teach and inform and welcome
Education
everyone.
is so
Yes,
important.
that's the key. And also just giving people information that don't have insurance, like how you can still get breast care or how you can still get your mammograms if you don't have insurance.
Right, and that's a big thing nowadays.
Yes, because there are resources for that.
There sure are. And one of the things I love about all this information and all that is when my friend, I'll never forget, she had a PET scan and she was there by herself. And I found out about it, and I left WAPN and went there, and I walked in and she goes, what are you doing here? I said, you're not going to be here alone by yourself. And
Yeah.
she goes, really? And I go, no, why didn't you tell me? And she goes, well, I have all these appointments and I feel bad, and her husband had died, and she's like, I feel bad telling people and they feel obligated. I said, oh no, it's not an obligation at all. You need to have that support system.
Yeah.
You need to have somebody with you.
You do. It's so important, and I'm glad you brought that up because if you know someone or anyone that's going through, be there for them. You might not can go to everything, but just once in a every now and then if you're there, that makes all the difference.
It
in the
totally
world.
does.
Just to know somebody cares.
I remember
because it's overwhelming.
Yeah, I showed up at the hospital with Miss Brenda. Now, did you ever get to meet her?
Brenda? No.
Okay, so you must have came right around the time that she was there before at the church. She used to do prayer line here.
Yes, I've heard all about
Yes.
her. I feel like I know her.
Right.
She's got her big picture up in the book room.
Okay.
The book store. The bookstore at the church. And I've heard so much about her.
Well, she was that wonderful. And when she was in the hospital one time, I went to see her, and I come walking in. She goes, what are you doing here? And I go, well, because I love you. Where else am I going to be? And we just sat and visited about my shoes, actually. She loved my tennis shoes I had on. And I thought, well, what size do you wear? I would have taken them off and given them to her right there. Because for those few minutes, it wasn't about cancer.
Yeah.
It was about something else and just having a normal day. So breast cancer is possible to survive, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
And early detection is very important, isn't it?
Very important. You know, the statistics in the United States is that one out of every 8 women will be diagnosed.
Wow.
But that sounds horrible. But the thing about it is that 48% now will survive. and see
totally different.
Yes,
than
we'll
back in the day.
survive, and that's because of all of the technology, all of the testing, the mammograms, the sonograms, the MRIs, and doing self breast checks. But now, where before the statistics for death, the death rate was like just grueling, but now, we can survive.
Right.
So it's not a death sentence per se. If you catch it early, like early detection saves lives. So we encourage people, and that's part of the thing. A lot of women don't do self-checks. I was bad at it being a nurse.
I was going to
I'll
say,
be
I'm
honest.
bad at that, but I am good about going at least once a year to get my mammogram.
Yes.
So I got one of the two.
That I did. I was faithful about my mammograms. And when I got diagnosed, I had a mammogram. And there's certain cancers that mammograms don't pick up per se.
Right.
That is true. And mine was one of them. I had an invasive lobular carcinoma, and I had a mammogram. And the lady, she saw something, and she said, well, you know what, I'm going to call the radiologist in. And he came in and looked, and he goes, yeah, I think we need to do a sonogram. So, got off one, went in there and did the sonogram. But then the radiologist said, oh, well, it doesn't look like it's malignant. So just follow up with your doctor in 6 months. But something inside of me, I didn't feel right about that.
Your own advocate?
My own advocate, because I found it myself. I just happened to be looking in the mirror, and I looked at myself, and I said, there's a protrusion. I said, is that a lump? And I touched it, and it was a lump. And so when I lived in Virginia, went on a trip to Florida, left Florida, went back to Virginia, went to my regular medical doctor, and I said, I want to go see a second opinion. And he said, oh, yeah, I'll send you to someone, sure, right away. Sent me, and the woman, it was a woman doctor, and she was very compassionate. And she said, oh, I'm suspicious. She looked at the films, and she did a biopsy. And, of course, she gave me the news.
But thank God that you
And-
were persistent and that you were your
Yes.
own advocate, because we have
Yes.
to be our own advocates.
I was. And when they went in, the surgeon, she said, I'm sorry to give you the news, but I couldn't get it all out. That's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that they got it all out. So some did get in the muscle. But the praise report is that, it's been 3 years. I'm still here. That radiologist, he said, I'm going to give you deep treatments, I'm going to give you extra treatments, and we're going to get all those cells out.
Because there is so many opportunities and
Yes.
things out there where there wasn't before. Even the information is changing. I had a radical hysterectomy at 22 years old, and they were against me going on hormones because my mother had a female cancer. So they're like, we do not want you to go on hormones. And so I was like, okay. So I have lived the last 40 years without hormones. And recently, the information came out that the hormones were not that they were not contributing to breast cancer or anything. And actually, there was benefits to them. So, always check with your doctor, always do research, always pay attention, because my doctor, she said, no, let's try them. Now, if you just hate them, if they don't make your life better, then, because you haven't had them all these years. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't make better, you don't have to stay on them, but would you please try because of the benefits?
Yes.
And I was a nervous wreck, I'm going to tell you, because in my mind, all as I thought about is that old report.
Yes, yeah.
But the new reports, and so you always have to be educated. You
Yes.
always have to stay on
And
top of
medicine
things.
changes
Constantly.
from year to year.
Right.
1 year you're doing the CPR like this.
Yep.
And the next year you're doing the cardiac thump. And the
Yep.
next year they say, oh, don't do that anymore. We're going to do CPR like this.
Right.
Medicine changes from
Well,
time to time.
I remember when they used to say, you can drink too much water. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, so I just didn't drink water for years. And then I started drinking water, and water fuels your body.
Yes.
So like I said, get information, come out to these kind of seminars, come out to these women events, ask the question, even if it seems stupid or you feel weird about asking the question. If you don't want to ask it in front of everybody, pull her off to the side afterwards. She's super nice lady, and say, hey, could you just help me understand, or could you walk me through? I bet you she'll say, come on over.
Yes.
And let's go through the program. Let's meet the different ladies. Let's see how we can help you.
Yeah. And men also, we
I
too
know.
often,
I'm bad about that.
Yes, me too. And that's why when you said that, it came. But men do get diagnosed with breast cancer. It's like 1 in every 500, but
still.
it's rare, but it happens. So men too should just be aware of your chest. And if you notice something that's, a lump, a bump, discharge from a nipple, anything like that, go see a doctor, because it does happen, even though it's rare.
Right.
It does happen to men,
We have
too.
to be proactive. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? So tell us how we're coming. Is there a phone number? Is there an address? Tell us again where we're coming.
Okay. So the brunch is going to be on Saturday, October the 4th at 10 a.m. And it is in Daytona Beach at Living Faith World Ministries. And the address, it's 950 Derbyshire Road. And so you can just look up Living Faith World Ministries and then remember Derbyshire Road. So it's 950 Derbyshire Road in Daytona Beach. And it
would
is
like
a
them to
brunch.
pre-register, right?
Yes, pre-register. So call ahead. And you can call, if you have a pencil, I'll give you the phone number. You can call and just register or RSVP at 540-325-9662. And that is, and just ask for Valerie, and we will RSVP you. But we'd love to have you to come. We're going to have good food. We're going to have fellowship. We're going to have some door prizes.
And you'll be welcome with open arms.
Well, yes, and just a wealth of knowledge. But we're going to have good, and our theme is more than pink.
So, do people supposed to wear pink that day?
I was going to say, if you like, you can wear pink and pearls if you like.
And pearls.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's our theme. Last year our theme was Think Pink. So we did like a passion initiative, for education, networking, and knowledge that was like PINK. So this year our theme is more than pink, and we're telling everyone that you are more than pink. You are valuable. So you are worth it. And we talk about, well, I got that, like the merchant in the Bible, he was searching for pearls, and then he found a goodly pearl, and he went and sold everything he had, and he bought that pearl. And so we're telling the women, you are more than pink, you are a pearl, because God, he sacrificed everything like that, like the merchant. He gave everything. He gave his life for us, and we're worth it. We're worthy of him sacrificing his life for us, and that we're precious, and like he chose that, like the merchant chose that goodly pearl, God chose us. So.
I love that, because we as women, we always put ourselves last. We do. If we're a wife, a mother, a teacher, a homemaker, a worker, whatever we are, we always say, well, let me make your dental appointment, let me make your medical appointment, let me run you here, run you there. We forget about us, and we need to put us in self-care. We
That's
really
why
do.
we're saying you are more than a pearl.
Yes,
you are worth
I love
it.
that.
You are worthy. Yes, and it's all about that, like you said, Shelley, self-love.
Yeah, it's very
we
important.
We put everybody else first.
Very important. So give us that phone number again. They can call to register.
Yes, call to register. You can ask for Valerie, 540-325-9662, and we would love to have you come out in fellowship.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Love
much
you.
for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. God bless.